So this morning as I got up, the thing that I was reflecting on was I was part of a meeting over about 15 years ago where we all met and there were no buildings on this site. And we talked about what this site could become someday. And we watched a couple videos about transit-oriented districts. We talked about how this could all tie in over here on this side of the freeway. Wolverine Crossing hasn't been built yet. We hadn't built the other building that UVU had. The Armory hadn't been constructed yet. And we had this discussion and this big vision about what this site could become someday. And here we are today, and we have the Orem Intermodal Center right here with Front Runner. You look at all of the housing developments that are here. When this is completely built out, I think there's 3 more projects to go, there will be 8,000 beds over on this side of campus. And now the final piece, a piece that throughout my career, probably 3 times, we have studied different ways. How could we link West and East Campus? And today we're going to talk about a pedestrian bridge. We're going to break the ground for it, and it's going to become a reality. So with that, I am just excited about today and about everybody that is here to help celebrate the creation of this. We have a number of dignitaries with us. We have all 3 mayors in our local community here. We have Mayor Brunst, we have Mayor Acerson, and Mayor Fulmer from Vineyard. We have a number of speakers. We have legislators. I just can't tell my colleagues how much I appreciate them coming out and being supportive of this project, because without the funding pieces that came through the legislature, this just wouldn't be a reality. And so I'm going to try to keep us on train schedule. Our remarks this morning will be Rob Clayton, our Region 3 Director, Jeff Acerson, a UTA trustee and mayor of Linden City, Mayor Brunst from Orem City, Speaker Hughes, who I thank you so much for coming out, Speaker, and being supportive this morning. And then our concluding speaker will be President Matthew Holland, and then we'll have the groundbreaking. And with that, Rob.
I just have to start by saying UDOT is thrilled and really happy to be playing this role in helping to deliver this solution to the community. We're standing here in the shadow of I-15, of University Parkway, Utah Valley University, the kind of the hub, the concentration of traffic in the valley, the busiest interchange that we have in our county, 200,000 trips a day that will pass under this bridge. Thousands of trips that are taking transit, 50,000 trips a day on University Parkway. And I'm just reminded of our responsibility at UDOT to keep Utah moving, our mission. And I see this as a prime way that we can do that, and really appreciate the opportunity to participate in this way. UDOT has a commitment to integrated transportation. The system is used by a variety of users, and all of them are key to the success of our transportation system. And we've got to find ways to support and to enhance those abilities. And this is a prime example of that. And I mean, we have a concentration of pedestrians and bicyclists and drivers and transit users. And this is really a kind of I see it as a milestone project where we have partnered together in ways that are unique and groundbreaking, and I think it will become a model for us in the future as we look at different ways to deliver transportation solutions to the community. And so UDOT's excited to be here. We're thrilled to have partners that have worked so hard together to deliver this solution. We're looking forward to the benefits that this will have to the community, the safety benefits, the enhanced mobility, the options that people will have, especially those that have limited ability to move around and use the system. So excited to be here, excited to have such motivated and talented partners. And so thank you very much.
I think they put the speakers in the sun to keep them short, so I'll be brief in my comments. But it's for UDOT and for UTA, the partnership that has been forged with the legislation that has just come through is very encouraging. And as trustees of UTA, we're excited about that partnership. as well as with the universities and all of our public partners. We're excited because the first and last mile is a critical part of the UTA's mission to try to help facilitate that. And we're pretty good about getting them from one place to the other, but it's that last and first mile that's the challenge. And this represents a key element for UVU and for UTA to, as Val mentioned, all the people that are going to be living this side of the tracks will be able to join the university together in a very efficient and effective and safe way. So UTA is proud of our relationship with all the partners, and we look forward to continued successes, as this will represent a great success for the university, for UDOT and UTA. Thank you.
Well, this is an honored day to be here. 5 years ago, the Orem City Council met and amended the Orem City Transportation Plan to include a bridge going across I-15 and over the Union Pacific Railroad tracks. Today, we're here to celebrate the groundbreaking of that event. Also, at that same time, and part of our plan, was the BRT bus, and we're here also to appreciate and realize that that is going to be occurring here later this summer. We're thankful for what's occurring here. When you look at this bridge is actually going to connect the Intermodal Center over to UVU. It's going to connect the apartments over to UVU. It's going to connect the West Campus over to the East Campus. And it's going to allow for free parking over here and those students to walk across. So I want to thank UTA. I want to thank UDOT. I want to thank UVU, and I want to thank the Utah legislature for putting the funding and the vision together to make this happen. MAG was involved in much of this in the envisioning process and in the engineering. When you look at it, this makes it possible for students to go across in a safe manner, makes it possible for the disabled to go across, makes it possible for the bikers to go across. But at the same time, it lowers our traffic congestion on this intersection that was already mentioned. It lowers our air pollution. It gives the students a chance to park their cars and walk and have greater accessibility over across and be safe. For that, we're thankful. When I look at this as a bridge to the future. I look at this as a pathway to higher education for the thousands of students who are going to go across this bridge. What a great event it is today. Thank you.
I'll be quick. Look, this is years and years and years in the making. I remember once that when I was a UTA trustee, we talked about this bridge in the distance, because it's not just over a street, it's quite a distance. And there was someone that would laugh, that say, that doesn't make any sense at all. When you hear UDOT, we might have the only Department of Transportation in this country who is now looking at our market share of commuters in a growing state and the fastest growing county and saying, how do we absorb that market share of commuters? Not just roads by itself, but bridges, commuter bridges like this, BRT. How are we coordinating all of that? Because you can't let vehicle miles traveled go at the same rate as our population, or it's going to go congestion failure very quickly. The vision that's being shown by UDOT, its willingness to look at all modes of transportation and partner with those that help develop that infrastructure. We're a city on the hill with the rest of the country. They're watching this because we're handling that growth, I would argue, better than any other state. So thank you to the leaders that have stepped forward, who've made tough decisions, who are continuing to do that in a state that continues to grow. And I can't wait to break the ground before the train comes. Thanks.
Well, our speakers have been far too disciplined this morning. I took the whole setup this morning to be a kind of a plan hatched by my staff with the, I was told that I would have 6 minutes and then the trains would come roaring by. So I had to stay at 6 minutes, and I instantly knew what was happening. It's my last public speech in 9 years. For once, they wanted me to end on time, so they orchestrated a full train schedule for that. And now we're ahead of schedule, so I'm just going to keep talking. Anyway, what an exciting moment! What an honor! I want to thank Rob Clayton for being here, our mayors, legislators, Speaker Hughes, many dignitaries from the university and the community, all in attendance today. We're all so excited about this moment. Again, this is what I think will be my final public speech as president of Utah Valley University. So, and this is important enough. I hope you'll indulge me if, unlike many moments similar to this, I'll actually read a prepared statement today. This has truly been a community effort, and we wouldn't be standing here, shovels in hand, preparing to break ground on such a vital structure if it weren't for the tremendous support we've received from the City of Orem, UDOT, UTA, the Utah Legislature, and MAG. On behalf of more than 40,000 students, staff, and faculty at UVU, I'm so grateful that all of these organizations and leaders have recognized how critical a pedestrian bridge is for the safety and the accessibility of our campus, as well as the sustainability and the economic vitality of this community. This pedestrian bridge will not be the first of its kind, nor the largest, but I predict that it will be the most trafficked and one of the most impactful, certainly of any pedestrian bridge in this state or the greater region. For UVU, today signifies a giant step forward in the realization of our master plan that itself was years in the making and maps out the full future of the university moving forward for the next 40 to 50 years. As we've noted in our master plan, accessibility to public transportation and the creation of a walkability campus, a walkability culture for our central campus is essential to our ability to manage our institutional growth, function as good neighbors, and take a leading role in ensuring a healthy environment for this valley. This bridge will serve as a much-needed connector between our east and west campuses. Besides providing students on both campuses better access to all services and opportunities, it will play an essential role in our aim to drive most of our future growth and related activity westward rather than eastward into existing neighborhoods. UVU's growth and development, like the growth of Utah County itself, are inevitable, and they bring with it both great promises and great challenges. As our master plan explains, for the sake of student success, public costs, and sustainable best practices, UVU's main Orem campus must remain the university's central academic hub, even as we look to develop satellite locations around the valley and ever more online offerings. Yet we also want to ensure that this thriving university does all it can to elevate and enhance the neighborhoods and communities from which our students come. In the spirit of both of those positions, we do support the development of student housing for two discrete areas immediately adjacent to the eastern side of our main campus. With long study and much community input, these are being designed to minimize vehicular traffic by redirecting it away from residential areas and dramatically increasing walkable student access to our campus. In terms of delivering on our mission of student success, managing our growth, and fostering an environmentally friendly practice, the completion of these projects is crucial. That said, and for all the same reasons, it is imperative that the bulk of our future expansion moves westward. We hope that everyone gathered here today or observing from afar sees this bridge as a tangible and significant sign of our commitment to make this happen. We also hope and believe this bridge will encourage the development of the private sector in this area, spawning greater growth in transit-oriented businesses and housing options. As UVU continues to welcome students from all across the valley and beyond, we envision the growth of this area providing a tremendous economic boon for the city of Orem and the local business community. On an even broader scale, the pedestrian bridge will also provide a highly accessible and dynamic platform for thousands to discover and benefit from public transportation. The ease of travel on Frontrunner and the newly coined Utah Valley Express will be complemented by the increased connectivity and accessibility to the amenities offered by the community to UVU. In facilitating this, the pedestrian bridge will serve as a strong engine for the kind of critical change in behavior that must take place in this valley if it is to manage successfully the exponential growth that will occur here over the next few decades. Our booming population in this valley, likely to crest over 1 million citizens by 2037, will require ever more efficient management of resources and an increased use of sustainable practices in daily life. This bridge is a reflection of the broad and growing consensus that we are committed to doing just that. The future of our valley is the future of UVU and vice versa. The valley will grow. UVU will grow. Working together closely, as we have on this project, is our best and perhaps our only option for making Utah Valley clean, livable, and prosperous. Thank you again to everybody here for making this very big and essential dream a reality. Thank you very much.